Hi everyone, and welcome to another session at Exceptional Tuition and Resumes. Today we are going to discuss some more graduate nursing interview questions to help you succeed in your future nursing interviews. Now, I hope you're enjoying your degree and are getting excited about the next part of your career, because today we're going to be talking about transitional questions and how you move from being a nursing graduate in university to a nursing graduate in the clinical workplace, such as a hospital or a healthcare organisation or facility. So let's start with some simple basic questions. So a simple question could be, why have you chosen nursing as a profession? Now, this is probably one of the most important questions that you need to discuss in your interview, because it talks about your intention. So why? What is the real reason that you decided to go into nursing? Is it a genuine passion? Is it something to do with your family history or your experiences? Or is it because you are simply a person that really loves to help people and is community focused? This is why you need to be really clear in your mind and in your heart of what is the driving factor as to why you've chosen nursing. Now, another question could be, you have been in university for the last couple of years. How are you feeling about the next part in your career? Are you nervous or are you excited? So this is where you get to actually be honest and show that you have feelings as a nurse. And it's not a bad thing to actually be completely honest, because let's admit it, you've been in a safe university environment or a college environment, and now you are looking to work in the actual professional workplace. So how are you feeling? And obviously when you end your question, or your answer I should say, make sure you put a positive spin. For example, I'm so excited to be learning new concepts in the clinical environment, or I'm excited to achieve some mentoring and professional guidance to ensure I become a top-notch nurse. Something like that, okay? Another question would be, what do you expect of other nurses in the organization? Now, this question is basically asking you, do you understand who you're going to be working with? So do you understand your position in the hierarchy? So you have obviously like your AINs, ENs, RNs, clinical nurses, and anyone else in the clinical environment. So do you know what they do as their role, and where do you fit in that particular scenario? What do you expect of the other nurses? So do you understand their general job duties? Do you understand the reporting levels in the organisation? That's what they're testing, so about expectations. Another question is, how are you going to make sure that you meet all requirements of a Division 1 nurse during your graduate year? So this is asking you, do you understand, again, your job duties and your responsibilities as a Division 1 nurse? Do you understand the expectations, the legal requirements, your compliancy requirements, and really what are you supposed to do as a basic junior nurse coming into your first year of a clinical career? Another question would be, how will you develop your confidence as a graduate nurse? So here, this is where you have to exude your excitement for starting your brand new career after university. And then how do you plan to develop your learning from both the academic side, but also from those around you? So here you could give an answer, for example, I'm really seeking to achieve immediate mentorship and professional relationships with senior nurses. I'm looking to learn from every opportunity in my environment through asking questions from other nurses or unit managers. I'm looking to undertake professional learning development opportunities, attend seminars, in-house training, and I'm also willing to undertake individual independent learning in order to ensure I can perform highly as a new nurse. Because this question is basically asking you, how are you going to keep on learning, and how are you going to perform at your optimal best? Because let's face it, being a new nurse straight out of university is a little bit daunting, but if you are committed to your profession, you will do everything to become confident and show that in the way that you think and you act in the workplace. Remember, it's all about your mindset. So how are you going to become mentally confident, physically confident, emotionally confident, and of course spiritually in your heart to become the best nurse that you can be? Another question is, shift work is very challenging a nurse. So how do you plan as a nurse to manage shift work in your new career? So this is basically a question about your time management skills and also your ability to manage your emotions, your mental state, and also your work-life balance outside the workplace. So you need to maybe say that in order to relax, I do certain things. I also will work against the timetable set by the unit that I'm working for, and I will always prioritize my work above every other element in my life, because you've got to show them in this question that you are willing to go above and beyond and you are willing to adapt to the lifestyle of shift work. Okay, so shift work is not new to nursing, it is part of the job. Okay, another question could be, if you are receiving negative feedback from your managers in the workplace, how do you respond to it? So this question is basically asking you to demonstrate, how do you manage constructive feedback, how do you manage criticisms, and how do you manage your emotions in this particular situation too? Because you have to realize that a good unit manager or a good senior nurse will look to make sure that you can perform at your best. So they will give you advice and guidance to help you always improve. They won't put you down. They will just be neutral, but they will be actually helping you to perform your best. Okay, so you have to describe, how do you as a nurse handle the feedback coming in? How do you accept it gracefully and humbly? And then how do you act to work positively within your team? Okay, so it's all about being receptive to feedback, and it's about being open to ongoing learning. And of course, if you do see errors in the workplace, it's important that you also point them out, but be obviously kind in the way that you deliver the feedback. But always be open to always improving yourself. Okay. Another question would be, what are the challenges you may face from a Division 2 nurse to a registered nurse? So in this scenario, it's basically asking you, do you understand the difference between a Division 1 and Division 2 nurse, and also the difference with a registered nurse? So you have to show that you're willing to grow as a nurse, you're willing to be diplomatic, you're willing to be honest in feedback, and also be willing to accept that nursing is not an easy job, but you will always get better as the years progress and as you surround yourself by qualified, experienced, and helpful nursing professionals. Okay? Another question would be, what are your best qualities as a graduate nurse? So here, you basically need to think about yourself as a nurse, and what do you think you bring to the table as a new graduate? So here you need to be really self-aware and know what is your strengths and what's your weaknesses, and be able to talk most positively about yourself. So you are really good at working within a team. You're really good at working within time frames and managing priorities and workloads. You are really good at talking to patients and making them feel comfortable with you. So for me, that's something that I really love, is I love dealing with people. I love making them feel comfortable around me, being able to talk openly, being able to consult with me in a very nurturing and open manner. So think about those really people-based qualities that you have. Think about your technical skills as a nurse as well. So what do you do best in the workplace? Another question could be, what kind of strategies do you have to balance your family life and your social life outside of work? So here you can basically talk about, a little bit about your hobbies. What are the things that make you relax as a nurse? How do you plan to manage your time? And of course, what makes you happy? And this will show that you are a well-balanced nurse, because you can't be a workaholic and be completely happy. You need to find the balance between the things you do inside and outside of work. But obviously, at the end, frame and always say that your priority is obviously to be a wonderful nurse and a highly reliable nurse. Okay, and another question you might have is, what are some common challenges that you think you may face as a nurse coming into the workplace? So here you can be honest, and again, it shows your self-awareness and awareness of the upcoming career which you're going to be going into. So you could say, for example, you may be challenged to deal with a situation where a patient is dying, and that is a fact. That's something that if you end up in palliative care, you may need to actually think about how you manage the end of life process. How do you manage the families of patients that are in that state? So you need to be able to think about, what are those challenges? What emotional challenges? Are there any physical challenges you may have? Do you have any worries about a nurse? It's about being open, because when people understand each other, that's when they can start to build that connection and genuine relationship, okay? Because the most important thing is you want to be a happy graduate nurse. You want to be able to adapt to your new job, be comfortable, be open to new learning, but understand that you are starting from the bottom up. So you need to be really honest with yourself. Another question could be, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as a nurse? And this is where you can basically talk about your career aspirations, because let's face it, you want to be in nursing for the long term if you really love the profession. So what is your career aspirations as a nurse? And here you can say that you are looking to, grow as a nurse and become a senior level nurse. Maybe you're looking to get into management. What is your goal? And finally, the last question is, what do you love the most about nursing? And here, this is where you finally summarize everything that you really enjoy about nursing. Because any organization, doesn't matter where you're working, wants to know that you genuinely are in this profession for the right reasons, okay? So this is where you can smile, be genuinely happy, and show that you have a passion for nursing, because a new graduate can blossom in the career if their heart, their mind, and their soul is in the profession. So I hope these questions about transitioning from the university or college environment to the clinical environment has been very helpful. At Exceptional Tuition and Resumes, we can also help you with your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile, your selection criteria, and of course we do one-on-one training for your future graduate programs. So please feel free to contact us at 0407 032 026, or you can check out our website at www.exceptionaltuitionandresumes.com.au. And I wish you all the best in your graduate nursing interview programs. Have a wonderful week and good luck.